Alive in the early 1900s, a fountain pen such as this would not have been an unusual sight. The modern ballpoint pen only became popular worldwide around the early 1940s. Prior to the ballpoint, we had the fountain pen, before that the dip pen, and even earlier the quill. This particular pen, however, is believed to be the pen that Michael Collins used to sign the agreement for a treaty between Great Britain and Ireland, better known as the Anglo-Irish Treaty. The dip pen required repeatedly dipping the nib of the pen into a pot of ink known as an inkwell. In the 1880s, a man named Lewis Edson Waterman lost a client when his dip pen leaked on an important document, and was inspired to design the first practical fountain pen, which had a small cartridge of ink built into it. In the aftermath of the Easter Rising, Michael Collins emerged from imprisonment in Frongoch Prison in Wales as a leading figure in the new Irish Volunteers movement. In 1919, Collins was elected to and took his seat in Dáil Éireann in Dublin, a revolutionary assembly of Sinn Féin politicians elected to, but not taking their seats in, the British Parliament. Collins was one of 5 Irish plenipotentiaries asked to attend the treaty negotiations by President of Dáil Éireann Eamon de Valera. Of his attendance at the negotiations, Collins remarked, "To me the task is a loathsome one. I go in the spirit of a soldier who acts against his best judgment at the orders of his superior." The talks, which went on for 8 weeks, were incredibly fraught and difficult. At one stage, Prime Minister Lloyd George reportedly remarked to Collins that, given the chance, he would have had him hanged. Knowing the truce would end if they did not come to a resolution, and believing the Irish Republican Army could not continue fighting against the British Army, the Irish delegates agreed to sign in the early hours of the 6th of December 1921. Collins' pen was produced by Waterman sometime between 1915 and 1921. This particular pen was a lever fill pen. You can see the silver lever on the outside. The nib would be dipped in the ink, and the lever would activate a spring which would load the pen with ink. It also had an optional addition, a pocket clip on the lid. During the bitter Dáil debates that followed the signing of the treaty, Collins said, "As one of the signatories, I naturally recommend its acceptance. I do not recommend it for more than it is. Equally, I do not recommend it for less than it is. In my opinion, it gives us freedom. Not the ultimate freedom that all nations desire and develop to, but the freedom to achieve it." The Dáil would eventually vote 64 to 57 in favour of the treaty, splitting Irish nationalists into pro- and anti-treaty factions, which would soon lead to the